You know, when you think of Thailand, you think of amazing food, beautiful temples, and maybe even some great deals on jewelry. But long before it was called Thailand, this area was a crossroads of ancient empires. We're talking way back, over 1,000 years ago. The first coins that showed up here weren't even made by Thai people. They came from powerful kingdoms like Funan, which was heavily influenced by India. These guys were master traders, and you can't have trade without money. So they started making these simple, beautiful, silver coins. They weren't like the round coins we use today. They were often thin, stamped with symbols that meant something important to them, like the sun or a conch shell. These early coins tell a story. They tell us about power, religion, and who was trading with whom. The Funan kingdom, which was around from the 1st to the 7th century, left behind some incredible silver pieces. Imagine a coin that's been buried for 1,500 years. It's not just a piece of metal, it's a direct link to a lost civilization. Later the Dvaravati kingdom came along. These were the Mon people, and they controlled central Thailand from the 6th to the 11th century. Their coins were also silver, and they often featured symbols of prosperity and royalty, like a rising sun or a vessel full of water, which symbolized abundance. It's like their version of In God We Trust, but with pictures instead of words. Finding one of these coins is a real thrill for a collector. They're not just rare, they're pieces of a puzzle that historians are still putting together. Most of these coins were made from high-purity silver, hammered flat, and then stamped with a die. Think about the craftsmanship. No big machines, no computers, just a guy with a hammer and a piece of metal, creating something that would last for centuries. These coins weren't just for buying stuff at the local market, they were also used for paying taxes to the king and for religious offerings at temples. They were a fundamental part of society, representing both wealth and spiritual devotion. When one of these comes into the shop, my first thought is always, is it real? There are a lot of fakes out there, so you have to know your stuff. You look at the patina, the way the silver has aged over centuries in the ground. You examine the strike, how the symbol was stamped onto the coin. Is it sharp? Is it consistent with other known examples? These Dvaravati and Funan coins are the bedrock of Thai numismatics. They set the stage for everything that came after. They show that right from the beginning this region understood the power and importance of having a standardized currency made from precious silver. It's the start of a long, fascinating story. Now we get to the really cool stuff, the coins that are uniquely Thai. I'm talking about Pod Duong, or what we in the West call bullet money. When the Sukhothai kingdom rose to power around the 13th century, they created one of the most interesting forms of currency you'll ever see. Forget flat, round coins. These looked like little silver bullets or curled-up caterpillars. They were made from a solid bar of silver, bent into a C shape with the ends hammered together. They were chunky, they were heavy, and they felt like real money in your hand. This wasn't just pocket change, this was a statement of wealth and the power of the first truly independent Thai kingdom. The process of making these was fascinating. A silversmith would take a silver bar of a specific weight, heat it up until it was glowing red, and then bend it into that classic shape. While it was still hot, they would stamp it. Every bullet coin had at least 2 marks. One was a royal mark, which showed which king authorized the coin. For the Sukhothai kings, this was often a symbol of a cow or an elephant. The other mark was the mark of the realm, which was usually the chakra, a wheel-like symbol from Hindu and Buddhist cosmology, representing universal power and order. These marks were like a guarantee from the king himself. This is real silver, and it's worth its weight. Why this weird shape? Well, nobody knows for sure, but I've got a theory. Back then, people didn't have wallets with neat little coin slots. They carried their money in cloth bags. A round, flat coin could easily slip out or get lost. But these bulky bullet coins, they were solid. They stayed put. Plus, it was much harder to shave off a little silver from the edges to cheat someone, a common problem with early flat coins. The design was practical and secure. The sizes varied, from tiny fractions all the way up to a massive 1 baht coin, which was the standard unit of currency and weight, about 15 grams of silver. For a collector, Sukhothai bullet money is a must-have. These are the first coins of the first Thai kingdom. They represent a pivotal moment in history when the Thai people established their own identity. When I see one, I think about the merchants in the bustling markets of Sukhothai, trading spices and silks with these little silver nuggets. I think about the kings who put their stamp on them, declaring their sovereignty. Each coin has a story, a history of where it's been. It's not just a piece of silver, it's a 700-year-old artifact from the dawn of a nation. And that, my friend, is something you can't put a price on. Well, you can, but it's going to be high. After Sukhothai, the center of power shifted south to Ayutthaya. We're talking about a kingdom that lasted for over 400 years, from 1351 to 1767. This was a powerhouse of international trade. Ayutthaya was like the New York City of its day in Southeast Asia. Ships came from China, Japan, India, Persia, and even Europe. And what did all these merchants want? They wanted to trade. To do that, they needed a currency they could trust. And Ayutthaya's silver pod duang was the gold standard. Or, well, the silver standard. The bullet money tradition continued, but it became even more refined and widespread during this period. The kings of Ayutthaya controlled the production of money with an iron fist. They knew that controlling the currency meant controlling the economy. The bullet coins were still made in the same basic shape, but the royal marks changed with each new king. This is what makes collecting them so exciting. You can literally trace the history of the Ayutthayan dynasty through its coins. One king might use a symbol of a Garuda, a mythical birdman. The next might use an elephant or a specific arrangement of sacred symbols. Each mark tells you who was on the throne when that coin was minted. It's like having a tiny silver history book. The sheer volume of coins produced was incredible. Ayutthaya was fabulously wealthy, and its treasury was overflowing with silver from trade and taxes. They made bullet coins in all sorts of denominations, from the big 1 baht pieces right down to tiny silver slivers worth 1/128th of a baht. Imagine trying to make change with that. These coins were used for everything, from buying a bowl of noodles on the street to funding massive construction projects like the spectacular temples that still stand today. The silver flowed like water, making Ayutthaya one of the richest cities in the world. Sadly, this golden age came to a violent end in 1767, when the Burmese army sacked and destroyed Ayutthaya. The city was burned to the ground and the royal treasury was looted. They say the Burmese melted down so much gold and silver that the rivers of melted metal ran through the streets. A huge amount of Ayutthayan history, including countless silver bullet coins, was lost forever. This makes the surviving coins even more valuable to collectors. Each one is a survivor, a relic from a magnificent kingdom that was wiped off the map. When you hold an Ayutthayan Padduang, you're holding a piece of that lost splendor. After the fall of Ayutthaya, it was a tough time, but the Thai people are resilient. General Taksin rallied the troops and pushed the Burmese out, but his reign was short. Then came General Chakri, who became King Rama I in 1782. He founded a new capital, Bangkok, and started the Chakri dynasty, which still rules Thailand today. This is the beginning of the Ratanakosin period. One of the first things the new king had to do was get the economy back on its feet. And what's the first step? You guessed it, make some money. So they started producing bullet coins again, carrying on the tradition that had lasted for centuries. The Ratanakosin bullet coins are some of the most beautiful and well-documented. The early kings of the Chakri dynasty, Rama I, Rama II, and Rama III, all issued their own Padduang. They kept the traditional chakra mark, symbolizing the dynasty's power, but each king introduced a new, personal royal mark. King Rama I used a Trisula, the trident of Shiva, within the chakra. King Rama II used a Garuda, the mythical bird mount of Vishnu. And King Rama III, a very devout Buddhist, used a prasat, a symbol representing a palace or temple. These marks are sharp and clear, making them fantastic for collectors who want to identify and date their coins precisely. The production was centralized in the royal treasury in Bangkok. The quality of the silver was strictly controlled to maintain public confidence. These weren't just lumps of metal. They were symbols of the new dynasty's stability and legitimacy. After the chaos of the fall of Ayutthaya, people needed to trust their money again. These well-made, clearly marked coins did just that. They circulated all over the kingdom, helping to unify the country and fuel its recovery. They were used in everyday life, but special issues were also made for important ceremonies, like cremations or the founding of a new temple. The reign of King Rama III was really the last hurrah for the bullet coin. He was a great businessman and trader, and the kingdom became very wealthy. But the world was changing fast. Western traders were showing up in greater numbers, and they were used to their own flat machine-made coins. The bullet coin, as cool as it was, started to look a little old-fashioned. It was difficult to count, awkward to stack, and not really suited for the new age of international banking and commerce that was dawning. The days of the Pod Duong were numbered. A big change was on the horizon, one that would modernize Thailand forever. So, the world is knocking on Siam's door. We're in the mid-19th century, and King Mongkut, or Rama IV, is on the throne. This guy was a genius. He was a monk for decades before becoming king, and he studied Western science, astronomy, and languages. He knew that if Siam was going to survive and avoid being colonized like its neighbors, it had to modernize, and a big part of that modernization was the money. The bullet coins had served their purpose, but they just weren't practical for the kind of international trade the king wanted to encourage. He famously said the foreign merchants did not know how to reckon their value and were obliged to carry them to be exchanged. The first attempt at flat coins was actually a bit of a test run. Around 1856, the king received a gift from Queen Victoria of England, a small hand-cranked minting press. He decided to experiment with it. They produced a series of round, flat silver coins, but they were still marked with the traditional royal stamps from the bullet money era, the chakra and the king's personal symbol, a crown. These first flat coins are incredibly rare and sought after by collectors. They were more like prototypes, not a full-blown currency. It was the kingdom's first step into a new world of coinage. The real revolution came in 1860. King Mongkut ordered a steam-powered minting machine from Birmingham, England. This was the real deal, a state-of-the-art piece of industrial technology. With this machine, Siam could finally produce modern, uniform, machine-milled coins just like the ones used in Europe and America. The new silver coins featured a portrait of the crown on one side and an elephant inside a chakra on the other. This was a huge change. For the first time, the coin's design was a clear pictorial representation of the monarchy and the nation, something anyone, Thai or foreign, could understand. These new coins, issued in the standard baht denominations, completely transformed the Siamese economy. They were easy to count, stack, and transport. They made trade simpler and more efficient. For the average person, it was a massive shift from the money their ancestors had used for 600 years. It was a symbol that Siam was changing, embracing the future while still honoring its past. For collectors, King Mongkut's first flat coins represent this incredible turning point. They are the bridge between old Siam and modern Thailand, a story of a visionary king who steered his country into the modern age, one silver coin at a time. When King Chulalongkorn, or Rama V, took the throne after his father, he didn't just walk through the door of modernization King Mongkut had opened, he kicked it wide open. This king is one of the most beloved in Thai history, and for good reason. He abolished slavery, reformed the government, built railways and schools, and totally overhauled the monetary system. He reigned for 42 years, and during that time he turned Siam into a modern nation-state. His coin reforms were a crucial part of this. He knew that a strong, stable currency was essential for a strong, stable country. One of the first things he did was introduce a new design for the coins. In 1876, he issued a series of silver coins that for the first time in Thai history featured a portrait of the reigning monarch. On one side, you have a profile portrait of the young King Chulalongkorn, looking to the left. On the other side, you have the Siamese coat of arms. This was a huge deal. It was a direct adoption of the European style of coinage. It sent a clear message to the world: Siam is a modern kingdom with a modern ruler, equal to any in the West. It was a brilliant piece of political branding. The production of these coins was ramped up significantly. The mint in Bangkok was working overtime to get the old bullet money out of circulation and replace it with these new, flat coins. The king also standardized the denominations. The baht was officially set at 15 grams of silver, and all the smaller coins, the salung and the phuong, were decimalized to make accounting easier. It was a complete rationalization of the currency system. No more weird fractions and confusing weights. Everything was clean, simple, and modern, just like the new railways and telegraph lines that were connecting the kingdom. For coin collectors, the reign of King Chulalongkorn is a treasure trove. There are so many different types and varieties of silver coins from this period. There are the early portrait coins, the later portrait coins where the king looks older and has a full mustache, and numerous commemorative coins. One of the most famous is the Traveler's Rupee, a special silver coin minted in 1889. It was made to look like an Indian rupee to make it easier for the king and his entourage to spend money during his travels abroad. It's these kinds of stories that make the coins so fascinating. They aren't just currency, they're artifacts of a king who single-handedly steered his nation into the 20th century. The 20th century brought a lot of turmoil to the world, and Thailand, which officially changed its name from Siam in 1939, was right in the middle of it. The reigns of King Vajirabhut, Rama VI, and King Prajadipak, Rama VII, saw the country navigate World War I and the Great Depression. These global events had a big impact on the country's money. Silver, which had been the backbone of the currency for centuries, became a volatile commodity. Its price fluctuated wildly on the international markets, making it difficult to maintain a stable currency based on the silver standard. During World War I, the price of silver shot up. Suddenly, the silver in a 1 baht coin was worth more as melted-down metal than its face value as a coin. You can guess what happened next. People started hoarding and melting the coins. The government had to act fast. They reduced the silver content in the coins and eventually had to stop minting silver coins for circulation altogether, switching to nickel and bronze for smaller denominations. This was a major shift. For the first time in nearly 700 years, silver was no longer the primary metal for everyday money. It was the end of an era. Then came the big political change in 1932. A peaceful revolution transformed Thailand from an absolute monarchy to a constitutional monarchy. This was reflected in the coins. The new coins issued after 1932 no longer featured the king's portrait. Instead, they had the constitution on a pedestal tray on one side and a mythical creature called a brute on the other. This was a powerful symbol of the new political order. The ultimate authority was no longer just the king, but the constitution. Silver was still used for the 1 baht coin for a while, but its role was diminishing. World War II brought even more disruption. During the Japanese occupation, there were severe shortages of metal, and the quality of coinage dropped. The country was in survival mode. After the war, the economy was in rough shape, and the global monetary system was changing. The Bretton Woods Agreement effectively ended the silver standard for most countries, tying currencies to the United States dollar instead. For Thailand, this meant that silver's long reign as the metal of money was officially over. From now on, silver coins would play a very different but still important role. After World War II, Thailand got back on its feet, and the beloved King Bhumibol Adulyadej, Rama IX, began his long and historic reign. With the global move away from the silver standard, silver coins for everyday circulation were a thing of the past. The coins you'd get as change at the market were now made of cheaper metals like nickel, copper, and aluminum. But that doesn't mean the story of Thai silver coins ends here. Far from it. Silver just took on a new job. It became the metal of choice for special occasions, for celebrating the nation's history and honoring the monarchy. Starting in the 1960s, the Thai Royal Mint began issuing beautiful silver commemorative coins. These weren't meant to be spent at the store, they were created for collectors and as national keepsakes. The first major silver commemorative was issued in 1963 to celebrate King Bhumibol's 36th birthday, a significant milestone. This coin was a huge success and kicked off a new tradition. The mint started producing silver coins to mark royal anniversaries, important historical events, religious holidays, and international gatherings held in Thailand, like the Asian Games. These modern commemorative coins are works of art. They are struck using modern minting techniques, often with a brilliant proof-like finish. The designs are incredibly detailed, featuring stunning portraits of the royal family, intricate depictions of temples and royal barges, and symbols of Thai culture. They are produced in limited numbers, which makes them highly desirable for collectors both in Thailand and around the world. For an American collector, these coins are an accessible and beautiful way to own a piece of Thai silver and learn about the country's modern history and culture. The subjects of these coins tell the story of modern Thailand. There are silver coins celebrating the 50th anniversary of the king's accession to the throne, which was a massive event. There are coins for royal weddings, the birthdays of the queen, and the investiture of the crown prince. There are also coins that celebrate Thailand's achievements in science, conservation, and public health. Each coin is a snapshot of a moment of national pride. They continue the centuries-old tradition of using precious metal to mark what is most important to the nation, carrying the legacy of the Pod Duong into the 21st century. Today, in 2025, the tradition of Thai silver coinage is alive and well, but it exists almost entirely in the world of collecting. If you visit Thailand, the coins in your pocket will be made of base metals, but the Royal Thai Mint is more active than ever in producing a stunning array of silver coins for the numismatic market. Under the reign of the current monarch, King Vajiralongkorn, Rama X, this tradition continues with new designs that honor the new king and celebrate key national events. These coins connect the present day directly back to the very first silver pieces of the Funan Kingdom. For an American collector, Thai silver offers an incredible journey through history. You can start with the ancient, mysterious coins of Dvaravati, then you can move to the unique and iconic bullet money of Sukhothai and Ayutthaya, tracing the rise and fall of kingdoms through their royal marks. Then comes the great leap into the modern era, with the first flat coins of King Mongkut and the beautiful portrait coins of King Chulalongkorn. Each era presents a different story, a different style of art, and a different set of challenges for the collector. It's a field with so much to explore. What makes it so appealing? First, there's the history. You're not just collecting metal, you're collecting stories of kings, wars, revolutions, and trade. Second, there's the artistry. From the crude power of the early stamps to the refined elegance of the modern proof coins, Thai silver is beautiful. And third, there's the thrill of the hunt, finding a rare Sukhothai bullet coin or a pristine Rama. The fifth portrait coin is a real achievement. It takes knowledge, patience, and a good eye. But the reward is holding a tangible piece of a fascinating and faraway culture in your hand. So, whether you're a seasoned collector or just someone who loves a good story, the world of Thai silver coins has something for you. It's a story that spans over 1,500 years, from ancient empires to a modern, vibrant kingdom. It's a story told in a language that every collector understands, the language of rare and beautiful silver. Every scratch, every mark, every design tells a piece of that story. And as a guy who sees history walk through my door every day, I can tell you, that's a story worth collecting. You never know what's going to come through that door.